Hey everybody, it's Chris Kirkpatrick with Life 180, and I'm here in the Better Wealth Studios with my buddy Caleb Williams with Better Wealth, and we're about to do a fairly controversial video, I think. And so I want to talk about the PHP Agency, and this is going to be a challenging conversation because I'm actually quite conflicted about it, and I know Caleb is as well, because the CEO of the company, Patrick Bet-David, is somebody who I think we both have a lot of respect for.
Oh, yeah.
And he's done amazing things, and we both agree that he's done a lot of amazing things, and we agree with most of the stuff that he has to say. And he's launched this organization, I think it was in 2009, People Helping People, the PHP Agency. And but ultimately what it is it's designed and it's pitched as a way of helping people become an entrepreneur, helping people get out of debt, helping them solve their financial challenges. And if you watch any of the marketing, and I've spent a significant amount of time today watching the content on PHP and trying to figure out, like, what is their compensation plan, what is their business model, what are the products and services and offerings, and like, do they have coaching, do they have debt programs, do they have, like, what do they have, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I was looking for. And what I came up with is that they are simply an insurance agency.
Yeah.
I have no other way to put it. Now, that on its own there's nothing wrong with that, right? I'm a big believer in the insurance agent model when it's done properly. Caleb owns an insurance agency and runs a very successful organization, and we'll talk about that after. But the bottom line is PHP, the problem that I have with it is the way that they market it is incongruent with the way that it's actually run and the way that it functions. So what do I mean by that? I mean, if you watch their marketing and you like, I literally watched an hour-long webinar earlier today that was talking about all the problems in the world, that was talking about all the challenges of inflation and lack of income growth, and just all this different stuff that people are typically not aware of. So from that perspective, I honestly watched this video and I was like, dude, I'm fired up. This is good stuff. Like, the world needs to know this. And so I have, like, really, really a lot of respect for that mission. And I believe that a lot of people who get involved with PHP probably don't know what they don't know initially, and they are joining for that mission. So the challenge then becomes on the back end when they get to the how do they execute on that mission to help people. And ultimately all it comes down to is selling life insurance. And now if you want to switch to the screen really quickly, and we'll get into it, like, I just want to show a quick snapshot of this, is if you look here at the companies I'm highlighting, and I'll just unhighlight them, these are the companies that they represent. Those are their insurance carriers. Now, National Life Group, I hold close, near and dear to my heart. I used to be the head of business development for National Life Group. So whenever I talk about, I used to work with a company that's a Fortune 1000 life insurance company. That was my company. That's the first time I've ever said that on camera. But that is it. Like, these companies now, National Life Group is an Index Universal Life company. Yes, they have whole life. I left that company because their whole life wasn't good enough, right? And so, like, AIG, IUL has IUL. Mutual of Omaha, I know, has whole life.
The Mutual of Omaha is a term company. American National is a term company. Forrester is a whole life company. I've never heard of Columbus Life Insurance Company. So National Western Life Insurance Company. Not sure. I know America. I think they do IUL.
So here's the challenge. When you look at this, and if you watch our channel, you know that the biggest challenge that I have is, like, insurance should never be sold to solve a debt problem. It should never be sold to solve getting out of a financial crisis problem. And actually, it's interesting because we just got done filming a different video, a completely separate video, a little while ago, talking about the fact that one of the things that I'm so proud about Caleb with his agency and organization, I hate calling it an agency, but you cringed as you're
I was
like, you're like, no, don't do that. What I'm so proud about his organization is that they've actually created systems to help people and actual processes, and they are really process driven to help people actually be served about regaining control of their financial life or elevating the results in their financial life. and doing so in a way that will help them show up more powerfully in their life in general, right? And so if you could, Caleb, what I'd love is talk a little bit about your challenge, like, I guess, with this model and why you do it differently, and I'll get into after, like, my take on it.
Right. So I believe PHP is a network marketing company.
Correct.
I just want a disclaimer. I'm a big fan of their CEO as well. I think Patrick Bet-David does a lot of amazing things, and I agree with 99.9% of what he speaks. I guess I shouldn't say 99.9 because I haven't watched all of his videos, but really, really like him as an individual. There's a couple things when you're dealing with the financial service business. I think this is so difficult because, yes, we do have a problem, but the problem might not be the network marketing, like, let's just get a bunch of people and sell insurance, because that's why we get sometimes in a bad problem to begin with. I just listened to a hour-plus podcast, and there was this guy, and he had some good points, but he just railed on life insurance. And I'm sitting back here getting a little defensive. I'm like, that is not true. That's not true. That's not true. And then you reminded me, you're like, Caleb, you're like the 1% of 1% that actually care about this stuff and do this right. And I had an epiphany. It's like, wow, there are a lot more people under these organizations that they don't know what they don't know. They think they're doing the right thing, and in a way, they may not be serving people the best way. Now, here's my disclaimer: is term insurance. If this is a way to sell term insurance, and term insurance is a commodity, and you could go to a online term shop or buy it from your buddy, I guess that would be the only thing that I'm like, okay, if you figure out a system and it's like the Amway system and it works out, awesome. But when we're talking about like whole life insurance, we're talking about index universal life insurance, there's three things you need to look at. First of all, you need to look at the coach, because if you follow any of my stuff or what Chris talks about, or you've read my book, you know that this is not just a one-time deal. Like, I believe life insurance is an asset, and an asset that literally unlocks so many things, and it's you really need to have an independent person that's not emotional about your situation, and more importantly, they should be like somewhat ahead of you, or they should at least know what they're doing and be able to independently give you advice and coaching that will better your situation. Number two, we should have an independent process. Like, there should be a process. We have a model at Better Wealth, but it's like built on helping you be more efficient, built on creating, growing, using wealth. And then the third thing is the products. Yeah. And the products, like, I don't necessarily love focusing solely on the products, because I think it's like we can go down a rabbit hole and just like what's better than the other. But it's clear when you look at these companies, it's clear that they're leaning IUL. I know that because I've seen some of their marketing, and they're leaning, I think, the buy term, IUL. And again, I don't know what the majority of their business is, and so I want to be very careful. I just know that I've been hit up a couple times by people that want to recruit me, and part of me wants to, and I take the nice way out to say, hey, no, thank you for reaching out. But I almost am like, dude, do you know, like, who you're reaching out to? Like, and again, like, I want to insure 1 million people in the next 5 years, and they have put together a system to do that. I have concerns, and those are my concerns. It's the people that may not be like, it might be their part-time deal. It might not be their main focus. They don't know what they don't know. It's the process. I'm not convinced. I haven't seen much about like the process. They're talking about all the good philosophy, and I'm 100% bought into the philosophy, but what is it, the actual process on how you can take back control, how you can be more efficient, how you can grow your wealth, how it can show up powerfully in the future. Like, I'm not sure if a lot of people know like all the ins and outs of this. And then finally, it's the products. You can maybe speak to some of the products. I know that there's some really good term policies, but again, that's a commodity. And IUL, I will just say this: IUL, if you're not experienced and not setting it up properly, could be the worst place that you put your money. And there's a lot of things that could go wrong, and that's a potential fear that I have.
Totally, no, 100%. Now, once again, I always tell people, if you look at the IUL, look at the guaranteed column. If you're not comfortable with that, then
that's a good point.
Just think about other things. Like, it exists for a reason. They're going to tell you that it exists just for compliance reasons, and there's no way it wouldn't be there if it wasn't for a reason. Like, that's just a sales pitch, and that's all I'll say about that. So one of the things that I saw when I was looking today is there was a woman who was saying that, you know, she had some bad experiences. And what I took out of that and how I thought about it, and we talked about it a little bit already, is that if you get in any organization where there's 11,000 people, which is what they said they had for agents in 2019, if you have any organization with 11,000 agents and let's face it, there is a serious probably lack of supervision of those agents, right? When it comes to, like, they're spread all over the country, you're going to have some good people who are meaning really good things. They join the organization to really help people, and their heart's in the right place. And then you're going to have people that are just in it for themselves, and there's no way around that. Like, that is not a reflection of PHP. That's just the nature of network marketing. I don't care if you're doing Amway, if you're doing like any network marketing business, you're going to come across that. And so it's a challenge when it comes to to the financial services business when you integrate network marketing with it, because now you're talking about when you get somebody who does something a little bit shady to be more self-beneficial, you're not talking about selling them extra soap. You're talking about their financial livelihood of people that you're putting at risk.
Well, and also the turnover in our industry is already bad. Like, there's a good chance 5 years from now, the person that sold you something is no longer going to be in business. I can't imagine something like this.
I mean, it's crazy.
Like, I just want to throw this out there. I don't know how my contact info will be somewhere in the description below. I would love to see the comp plan. I would love to see your guys' like products.
Totally.
I would love to see your process, and I would just love to see some of your marketing and how it works, because again, it's a lot like Amway. A lot of good things happen in Amway.
Sure,
lots of good things. I think the few people give it a bad rap. I think the few people that like straight up DM me and try to like recruit me for their insurance, and they're like, I don't even know how you know, like, they knew I had an insurance license, but it's like so it's like, I think I don't want to judge, but I also go like from someone who's like trying to make a difference, and already we're getting a lot of flack in the insurance industry. It's because you can fog a mirror, you can have an insurance license, go out and sell. And trust me, dude, there's a lot of people that are experienced that don't know anything about life insurance.
So true.
How in the world are you getting someone off the street and they're able to do this? And it's
not possible.
I think there's some damaging effects that I think you just really have to weigh it. And again, I know just by watching their marketing and just by the leader, that there's probably most people that have an amazing heart that want to make a difference. The challenge that I have is, let's brainstorm. I'm open-minded. I would love to be wrong, but is there better ways to approach the financial service business? Because if this is it, I might as well look into making better wealth and network marketing business.
Sure.
But until further notice, it's not going to happen.
No, I mean, listen, if they had a system that they could get compensated for helping people without selling them insurance products, I'd be a little more open to it.
Right.
You know, but they don't. Like, not that I've seen. If I'm wrong on that, if there's something that's available for a product or service that's not on your website, reach out to me. Let me know. I mean, like Caleb, I'd love to see the comp plan. I'd love to see everything. And I'd love to be proven wrong. And I hope I am wrong, because I think the world needs what PHP is pitching. And I am a huge advocate of network marketing. I've consulted with multiple network marketing companies. I've made a lot of money in network marketing myself. I'm a big believer in it. I just want to but I'm more of a big believer in doing right by people and making sure that people are protected, you know, from, you know, putting their money in areas that is going to leave them vulnerable. And so, you know, that's the big thing. So, all right. So there you have it. Reach out to us if you are up to the challenge, and we'll go from there. So go out, have a blessed, inspirational day. Go out and crush it. We'll talk to you soon.